Good morning, my crafty friends. Cheryl here, and I want to do a live stream and talk about braiding some paper. I was talking about this on Shauna Muson's stream the other day, and I was asked to do it live. So I don't know who's in the room waiting. So if you would say hi, that would be great. But I thought I would do this live and show you how I braid some paper. Anybody there? It says two waiting, so I don't know. Give it just another minute for people to come in and for y'all to say hello. Type in here. Oh, Lori B, good morning. So we're going to braid some paper. We're going to make these. Have you ever made these before? They make great little pockets, belly bands, just decorative down the side of the page. And they're really easy to make. So I was going to do a 12-minute tips, and I thought, no, I'll just go live and show how to do it. So who else is here? I see somebody else has joined. Good morning if you're hanging out in the background, but this is what we're going to make. Yeah, they are really cute. I'm going to show you lots of different ways that I've come up with to decorate. Um, so it'll be a quick video, won't be real long. But hey, Donna Dreams. Hey, Debbie Vasey. Thanks for joining. So we're going to make some paper braids. I was just showing them. This is what we're going to learn how to make today. Now, in making these, you can use two or three, or even, I guess, four different papers if you wanted to. This one is just two, a front and a back. These two have, no, this one's front and back as well. And then this one has four different patterns in it because we're going to use um, oh, hang on a second here. There we go. We're going to use four different patterns to make this one, but we're going to use double-sided paper for the most part. I'm going to show you, if you don't have double-sided paper, how to deal with that. But you want as thin as you can get it. The real heavyweight cardstock, while you can use it, it's a little bit more difficult, and you'll see why when I get into it. Hey, let me do a sound check. Is my sound level okay for everybody? What do you guys think? Sound okay? All right. Well, good. Sounds good. Thank you. So we're going to use double-sided paper. Here's some ledger on one side, and this is scrapbooking paper is what I'm using here. You could use cardstock. You can use your own printed papers. If you have jelly prints, you could use those. Um, I'm just using scrapbooking paper. So there's one, and there's the back side of that one. There's this one, and oops, it's white. So I'm going to show you how we deal with that, because you may have some single-sided papers that you really like and you want to use those. So I'm going to show you how. Same with this one. This is one-sided, and the single-sided tend to be more lightweight too, so making them double-sided is not a big deal. So let's get started. Let's do the first one just using one sheet. I'll show you how to do this. So what we're going to do is cut 4 strips of 1/2 inch paper, and this is 12 inches long. It doesn't have to be 12 inches, but the shorter the paper is, the shorter your braid will be. So depending on how you want to use it, you can use shorter. And I was thinking, that the 6-inch might be good for a pocket for a journal, although you can cut those and cut them down to 6-inch. But if you only have 6-inch, that might be good for making some pockets. All right, so I've got 4 strips of 1/2 inch by 12 inch. And I've got my glue here. I was testing it to make sure that it was unplugged, and it was before I started, but you know how that goes. Hey, how's everybody doing today? Saturday, yay, the weekend. Although for me, the weekends don't make any difference because I don't work outside of the house. So, okay, so we have 4 strips, and what we're going to do first is we're going to put some glue on the back of the strip, one of the strips. Oh, actually, I'm doing this the wrong way already. You want the opposite side showing. So we're going to put some glue down and just glue these at right angles. Just like that, at a right angle. Okay? Pretty simple so far. Let me bring you down. Is it too washed out? Let me see if these lights are causing too much glare. Is that better? You have some stripes, and those are shadows from the arm of my camera holder, but do you like it? Hey, Shauna, I'm doing the live on paper braiding, just like you guys asked. Do you like it without the lights or with them? Let me know. All right, and then we're going to take the next one, and we're going to line it up right next to the first one we had. Okay, so they're side by side, and glue it up there. So going down each side, what you want are your 2 different colors. Okay, I know they're the same up here, but you want your 2 different colors. And then we're going to go and glue this one down here. And then from there, it's a piece of cake. I haven't seen anything about lighting, so I'm going to leave it like this. If you want more light, holler. Okay. Get those as close together as you can. If they're not exact, that's okay. We can manipulate it as we go. And then I want those to dry real good. And then from here, it's just a matter of doing the braid. So what we've got right now is like this. You've got the top part done. And then you can work from right or left. It doesn't matter. Just pick one side. We're always going to work from the outside strip, the one on the outside. And we're just going to alternate. So if you take the strip and you're going to fold it over, let me get you really, really, really close here so you can see. Let's see if this is going to focus. I think that's in focus. So what you're going to do is fold it so that your strips line up next to each other going down. You can use a bone folder. I use the back of my fingernail. See what we did? Now we have 3 strips on one side. Okay, so let me do it on, then I'm going to go over to the other side. And this is why you don't want paper that's too heavy. You could do it, but it's harder to fold precisely if the paper's too thick. You see what we're getting there? And we're just going to do that all the way down. And just go back and forth from the always from the outside strips, folding in. And then I'll get down to the bottom here and I'll show you how we finish it off. Isn't this easy? And they're so fun. Like I said, you can use, jelly prints, book pages, whatever you want. I thought it might be fun to take some plain cardstock and put some washi strips on front and back, because some of the washi tapes are so beautiful, and create a washi braid. Thought that would be pretty as well. But I saw this done. In fact, the gal who I saw it done on her channel originally, she had subscribed to my channel, so I went over to check her out. and she had this video, but she hadn't posted anything. Hey, Rose. She hadn't posted anything in quite a while, so I sent her an email or a message, whatever, and I said, I'd like to show your, um, your video and reproduce it on mine. I said, I'll give you credit, even though I see you're not posting videos. I said, please let me know. And it's been like, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, and I never heard back from her. And I notice now that her channel is gone. So I don't, unfortunately, even remember what her name was now. But she only had about 5 videos, and she didn't post a lot, and she hasn't posted in at least, I think, 2 years. So then I started looking at others, and I found that this technique is not new. There are videos out there on it, but I hadn't seen anybody in our little community doing it, so I thought I would show it. So we're almost done. I'm just going back and forth. And nope, can't get one more. That's it. So we are to the end. Isn't that pretty? Come on. Isn't that pretty? And that's just with 2. So again, if you want 4 different patterns, each of your 4 strips, well, actually this is 2 patterns, but when I laid them down, I laid them, one up, one down, one up, one down. So it was 2 different papers, but I used all 4 sides. So it looks like 4 different patterns in this one. All right, so we're done. So we're just going to go now. What I'm going to do is go to the bottom one strip and tack it down. Then I'm going to go to the next one. Oh, I'm off camera. So all I did was I lifted up. So I'm looking for all 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and I'm just putting a little bit of glue, tacking that down. Again, right up next to the other one. Gonna put a little glue here and tack this one down. And a little bit of glue here and tack this one down. Okay. And now when they're all glued down and the glue is nice and dry, you can, well, you could leave it like that if you like that. If you wanted a belly band, I might cut them even or put the little banner ends on them. You could do anything there. I'm just going to cut these off, and they should be all glued together. And there you have it. Wasn't that easy? So I'm going to show you some things that you can do with these in just a minute, but I want to make one with some lighter paper with the white background. We'll do one of those, and then I'll show you the weaving one more time. And I'll pull this back up for just a minute. Minus 27. Wow. I thought, oh, hey, Jess. I thought 27 was bad. Okay. Huh, that one's got opium on the other side. Maybe I don't want that. I always look to see what words are on the dictionary pages. I'm just taking some real lightweight dictionary page that is a bit aged, so it's got a little grunge on it. This is the Webster's New Student's Dictionary from, I don't even know what year it is. I don't know if it's going to tell me, but anyway, it's an older dictionary. And I'm actually going to rip it with the ruler rather than cut it. So I'm going to cut off the white spaces because I don't want those. And the first time I did this, I started cutting my 4-inch strips first, and I thought, well, that's silly. I need to glue the paper down first. So I guess you can guess what we're going to do. We're just going to glue this paper onto the back of our single-sided paper. Now, on this particular one, I really, with the line down the middle, I really only need one piece of that. So I'm going to cut it off. And then it's not going to quite go all 12 inches. So we'll do a second piece. Okay. I lost it already. I lost my mark. I was trying to eyeball it. So I usually put it a little bit over just so if I have an issue when gluing, I can always go back and trim it off. So I think I brought over, I thought I brought a glue book, but maybe I didn't. So I used the Scott's 3-in-1. And I'm just gonna, now this paper on the pattern side does not have an orientation. It's the same either way, but if yours does, make sure you're gluing your book page down appropriately. And I'm just gonna glue that down. So what's everybody got planned for the weekend? I went out thrifting yesterday, and oh, I can't wait till my next sale. I have, you guys, have some really cool stuff. And I sent Shauna a picture. I went napkin shopping, and holy cow, did I buy napkins. So I'll have lots of napkins and other things. And then from there, we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to cut 1/2-inch strips. And I may not braid the whole thing because I know you guys probably don't want to sit and watch me braid the whole thing, but I'll show you at least how to get it started. Especially for those who just the napkins. Oh man, and I got some good ones too. My husband, I sent him a picture of my napkins and I was like, I got napkins. And his message back to me said, well, if they don't buy them, at least we can use them for toilet paper. I said, oh, bite your tongue. We're not using those for toilet paper. I said, trust me, they will want them. Oh, I guess I cut. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I've got 4. I've got the pattern and the print side. So again, I'm just going to take, and if you weren't here the first time, let me show you how. Oh, hey, Hannah. Welcome. I don't know if I've seen you before. If I haven't, I don't remember. I'm sorry. So we're going to take one pattern side up, just put a little bit of glue. Let's bring you back down again so you can see it in detail. Put a little bit of glue and then put your first strip up in that corner at a right angle. So that's the first step. Now you're going to have 2 sides. You want alternating patterns. So we're going to glue. And if you're doing text, you might look at which way your text is oriented on the back side, unless you don't care if one's up and one's down, or one's right and one's left. But we're going to put the next one down right up, but it right up next to that first one. Okay. And then, how easy is this? And I had never seen it before. But wait till we look at some of the ways we can decorate. And I'm sure you guys can find all sorts of uses for these, but 2 that I thought of right off the bat were clusters and, or not clusters, pockets and belly bands. Okay. So there we go. And there I did it wrong. Do y'all see what I did wrong? I always do this. These should be alternating next to each other, not the same pattern. So it should go this way. And for some reason, I always do that. And then I got to take them off and put them down again. Okay, so from the outside in, you have the first two are alternating, one with the pattern, one with the text. And then moving in from the right, you're going to go text, pattern, and then pattern, text. If you've got two patterns next to each other, you could try that. I don't know what it will look like. I've not tried it. I suppose you could do it and see what happens. And then from there, I usually turn this sideways. From there, you just pick a side to start from. It doesn't matter. Pick up the outside strip and lay it so that it folds down right next to the one next to it, and it makes a point. Okay, that's the first step. And then you go to the other side and do the same thing. Fold it over. So you're kind of folding it to make like a triangle. Usually what I do is I come down a little ways, make it line up, and then back it up and smoosh it down. To me, that's easier than trying to line it up here at the top. I fold it over, line it up here, and then back it up and move back up and smoosh it down. And then we just go down the row. I like all my technical terms, smoosh it, and move some stuff out of the way here. All right, so as long as you're laying them down right next to each other. Now, this is why, as I mentioned earlier, and for some of you who may not have been here, I'll mention it again. This is why you don't want to use super heavy paper. My pattern papers are scrapbook papers, but you could use jelly prints, painted papers, stamp papers. You could use anything really. Okay, what did I do? What did I do? I did this one wrong. No, I didn't. There we go. So anyway, and then I'm just gonna, keep going down. So that's how you make it. You just go back and forth, and look at how fun that is. Isn't that fun? And like I said, I'm using 12 inches long by 6 inches wide, and this is what it's making. I'm guessing it's about 1.5 inches. So about the width of 3 of these, it's about 1.5 inches wide. Now I was thinking this morning you might be able to add, more strips at the beginning, do 3 and try to, braid it. I haven't played with any, different items, or different counts of paper, but you could certainly try. There's all sorts of experimentation to be done. It's just all about the imagination, right? So anyway, let me put this one aside. And let's bring back some of the ones. This is the one nope, where's the one we just did? Let's see. What can we do with these when they're done? Oh, here we go. Here's all the different ones. This one I'm going to put aside. Okay, so one thing that I thought of, and I thought this was such a cute idea. What did I do with them? I brought over all sorts of little things to play with, And of course now I can't find the one that I want. I had a little bag of little tags. And I'm not seeing them. So I'll use these instead. I'm going to bring this back out so we can look at it a little bit. Make bookmarks, absolutely, and collage it. You could do so much. These are little, just little cards, but I had some little, about this size tags, and I don't know where I put them. They're not on the floor. But when you do this braiding, these are little openings here. So how cute would this be to put some little tags in these? And of course you can ink up the edges if you want to. I don't know if I did that on any of mine, but look at how cute that is, putting some little tags in there. The other thing I thought of is, what about stickers? Let's do this one. What about some little flowers poking out? And put down some stickers. So that's another idea. Not this one, that's kind of a fern. So you could do that all the way up. You could put little, you know, washi stickers or any kind of stickers, kind of stick them down in there so they look like they're growing out of the band. So that was an idea I had. And then I had some of this wonderful bling from the Dollar Tree. And I thought, wow, wouldn't that be pretty? Putting a strip of bling down the end. So that's an idea. And I had a little ruffle. And I thought, oh, that would be pretty then with maybe some buttons on top or a little bling on top. Let's come down a little and I can bring this up a little. Isn't that cute? You could use paper ruffle. I've got some fabric clusters. You could put a little fabric cluster on here. You could put, I didn't bring out any lace, but you could put lace on them. But look at those little fabric clusters. I've got a little applique. I could put a little applique right up here, or maybe down here. Or look at this one with the little tags sticking out, and then an applique, and then maybe a little button or a sequin or something down there at the bottom. And then you've got your paper flowers that you can use. I mean, there's just so much that you can do with them. But let me show you one other thing that, let's see, this is the one that we just did. Pull all this stuff out. The other thing you can do is take some thin ribbon. I think this is this looks like a 1/4 inch, so it's not real thin. But these openings go every other one. So you could take this ribbon and feed it up through here. Okay, so I'm going under that one, over the next one, and then I use the old sticky finger routine to grab it, over the next one. Okay, just go under and over. And then you could, you know, decorate on the parts where it was showing. You could, I'll show you what I was thinking. And over. I was thinking, wouldn't that be pretty as a pocket, laying down that way with that ribbon going through? You could braid the ribbon in the paper. Yeah, you could. And I thought about just braiding ribbon, but you have to get a pretty sharp point. So I think you would have to glue the ribbon, unless you had really stiff paper ribbon. I think you would have to glue the ribbon to some paper because I don't think it would lay flat enough. Um, but you certainly could braid the ribbon in with the paper. I'd probably glue it to the paper, but yes, you could do that. Any other ideas? So yeah, I thought that would be fun. And then maybe, a little applique on one end with something in it. And then the ribbon, you could do both sides. You could, and there's just so much you could do. Now, if you want to, oh, by the way, let me show you, ladies. This is the journal I made during one of Shauna's live um, streams when she was working on her project. I made a correspondence journal. So this is made out of a priority mailbox. And this is paper I got from Katie and some blue lace. And then this is the postal fabric from Tim Holtz. And then I've got, insides. And right now it's mostly just paper. I did put a couple of embellishments in, but let's find a page. Like, look how pretty that would be. And it's almost exactly the right height. Look at how pretty that would be for a belly band with some embellishments on it. Or a pocket. Now, if it's a pocket, you probably want these ends to be straight. And what I saw was the lady who was doing it actually cut them. And I've got one here I can cut because I kind of messed it up on the end. First she glued it down. She cut one end. Cut it here. She cut one end straight, and then you've got a couple little floppy ends here that you'll have to tack down. But she then put it down as a pocket and then cut the other end. Let me actually just put this one in here. So isn't that pretty as a little pocket? Or a tuck spot. You could use it as a tuck. Just be sure that you glue down the ends that are showing or that are left exposed after you cut. So that's all. Then you can ink it up. You can do whatever. You could put a couple of these side by side. I could use the pointy end and use that as a tuck spot with the pointy end sticking up. Just all sorts of things that you can do. So yeah, this becomes a little embellishment piece now. I wouldn't throw that end piece away. Hey, April. Hey, Penny. So yeah, there's just so much you could do. You could tie a bow at the top of this one. I'm not good at tying bows, so I'm not going to attempt it on camera, but if you went this way, you could tie a little bow up here and let it hang down. You could also punch a hole in this and make it a dangle so that it dangles down. Anything you can think of. But the main thing I wanted to show today was how to actually do the braiding. Now we have some new folks in here. Do you guys want me to show one more time how to start the braiding? You let me know, or you can go back and watch it, but I'd be happy to show it one more time if you want. What do you think? Oh, the other thing I thought you could do, these are new. This one's called Clippings Sticker Book. I hadn't seen these before. Please show it again. Okay. So I found these and they're different colors. You know how if you want different colors, you usually have to put ink over it. So I found these and I thought, you know, that would be fun putting a sentiment on there. What I might do is tear out a piece of book page or something else to make it stand out and back it with that and then put the words on there, but you could use words. All right, let's take a look at, let's do a real neutral one. Let me find what I did with my paper trimmer. All right, what you're going to do, you want 12-inch paper, 12 inches long, so scrapbook size paper. If you don't have it, you could glue two pieces together, or you can make a shorter one, but that 12 inches seems to make a pretty good size. You want double-sided paper, and if you don't have double-sided paper, you can do like we just did. We took this piece that was white on the back, and we just glued some book pages on there. So actually, we'll do this one with 4 different ones. I'll take one of these, and we're just going to cut them at 1/2 inch. Well, actually, we need 2 of those. It's going to have a little tiny white edge on it, but that's okay. So we need 2 of those, and we need 2 of these. So you're always going to start with 4 pieces. Okay, this one's like an olivey green on one side, and that's kind of like ledger paper on the other side. And you can use any kind of paper, as I said. You could use jelly prints, you can use cardstock, you can use just anything, book pages, but you don't want it too heavy because you'll have a hard time folding it if it's too heavy. All right, and then when you have your papers, you'll notice that we have 4 different patterns here. We've got this one, which is print on one side, and then this pattern on the other. Actually, I'm going to go this way. So print on one side, pattern on the other. And then this one, which has the ledger paper and then and actually, it doesn't matter, the ledger paper on one side and the green on the other. So if you if you turn them all different, you know, right side up or right side down, whatever the right side might be, you'll have 4 different patterns. And so all you're going to do, and on this one, because we have 4 different patterns, it really doesn't matter what order we do them in. If you're using one piece, one print, and it's repeating patterns, then you want, like if these were the only 2 we had, you would glue them at right angles this way, and then you would put a green strip this way. So it's going to be pattern, green, and then green and pattern, if that makes sense. You want them alternating. And you can go back and see in the previous ones how I did that. All right, so we're just going to glue that down. Okay, make a right angle. And then I'm going to take my next piece and just make sure you're putting your patterns where you want them. If all I had were the book page and the green, this next strip going down this way would be book page. It would be book page. No, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. It would be green. See, I always do that because you want book page green and then green book page. So you're making like a V. Does that make sense, everybody? So it would go like this if you were just using 2 patterns. Okay. But we're using 4. Gotta get them going the right way. So you're always going to glue onto the top. Now on this one, You already have 2 down. That's okay. You don't have to thread it under. Just put it over the top of both pieces and glue it down. And so you end up with, come on, glue dry. Pick it up and dry. I'm just using Aleene's Tacky Glue because I had some left over. It's about 10 years old, but it works great. Get that to dry real quick before I try to move it all around. And what you're going for here is that the papers line up edge to edge so that when you fold them, they stay tight together. Get that off my table. Okay. So here's what you have. We laid the first one down, which was the book page. We glued the green one on top of that. Then we glued the printed one going this way. And then, hey, Cheryl, I'm just showing how to do this braiding. Okay, so we glued them together. And now you're going to pick a side to start from, and it doesn't matter which side you start from. We're always going to work from the outside piece. So I'm going to go from the right. I like to turn it a little bit. And what you want to do is fold it. Let's come down here and look. Fold it so that the pieces line up next to each other. Okay, and then just press it down. Use a bone folder. I use my thumb, backside of my thumbnail. And then we're going to go to the other side now. That was on the right. Now I'm going to go over here to the left, and I'm going to do the same thing. Just fold it so that it lines up right alongside the other one going that way. Okay. And we're just going to go back and forth. And this is why the heavy, heavy paper is harder. It's not that you can't do it, it's just much more difficult. Now, the other thing I was thinking, because, you know, I told you when you're done with this, all of these little pieces that you're folding over are making little pockets. If you didn't want that, you could certainly put down a dot of glue every time you folded the paper to make it one solid piece. I don't think that's necessary, but you could. Okay, and so we're just, and because we have double-sided paper, all 4 patterns. Isn't that fun? You just keep doing this all the way down till you get to the end. Can you do this with ribbon? Well, we were talking about that earlier, Cheryl, and yes, but the ribbon's not going to be stiff enough to hold the fold. So I think you would have to glue the ribbon to the piece of paper, or you would have to have really stiff ribbon and maybe iron it so that you get a crease. To me, that would be way too much work, but I think you could. You just need the crease, and certainly I say experiment, but I was thinking about the same thing. Could you do this with ribbon? And what I was showing earlier, so you're just going to do this all the way down, and then I have one that's almost done. Let me finish this one so I can show you how to end it off. What I was showing before, I have some ribbon here, and I took the ribbon and wove it in and out through those pockets, and you know, added some ribbon that way, or you could certainly add a bow or whatever, but it's just a matter of what's going to be stiff enough to make the fold. So yeah, we're just going to go down. Get this one. We're just about done with this one. And you just keep going back and forth. Isn't it easy? It looks so complex when you look at all the, you know, the braiding. It's actually technically not braiding. It's more like weaving, but if you Google on, or not Google, but if you look on YouTube and search, you'll find they call it paper braiding. And I just sort of stumbled on a video about this, and I hadn't seen anybody in our little groups doing it, so I thought, well, I'll get on and show what it's all about, because I've got all kinds of ideas for using this in a journal. And then the last one. Okay. And when you get to the end, I've got a little bit of a funky fold there. See, I folded that one a little too far out. So it's causing a little bit of a crease, but I'll just put something there. All right, when you get to the end, you've got 4 strips, and I usually open it up. You take the first one. Am I on camera? Take the first one, put a little bit of glue. Come on. Waiting for the glue. Isn't that the longest part of any project? I'm looking to see if there's any other, trying to keep up on chat, but if there are any other questions, let me know. Come on. There we go. All right. So you're going to glue that first one down. So that actually takes care of 2 of them. And then we're going to take the third one and glue it down. And then, now see, I'm a perfectionist, so that's bugging me where it's off a little bit right there. I would probably take it apart and redo it, but I'm not going to right now. Okay, so then once you get them all glued down, you're just going to cut the V, and because I had a little oopsie in mine, it's probably not going to be exactly like it should be, because I have that little mistake there, and that would drive me crazy. I would have to fix that. Either push it in and glue it or something. Or I might just cut it off there and use it. But you can ink these up on the edges. You can, I was showing, using them as a belly band. That one's a little bit long, so you might have to cut it off. You could also fold this down if you wanted a straight edge instead of cutting it off, because if you cut it, I was showing earlier that if you cut it, you're going to have some loose ends and you're just going to have to glue those down. Okay, but you can cut it straight, or you could fold it over. Okay, I would probably cut this one right here because I have a boo-boo in it. Use them as pockets going across. I was showing, if you glued this down as a tuck spot, I had this one that I cut. If you put it down as a tuck spot, you could take one of the other pieces, put it next to it. Oh, let me come back out again. Put it down next to it so that you could tuck something in there. Isn't that cute? Or even use a different pattern and do 2 different ones. So lots of things. I had some clusters out. You could decorate with a little fabric cluster on there. Oh, and the ribbon thing I was showing you or telling you about. You can just take this ribbon, because you folded these, they're all open. And I was showing that you can take some little tags or cards and stick down in those pockets. Stick them down in those pockets and do something like that. A little stuffed belly band. Isn't that cute? Or you could go over and under with the ribbon. So I'm going to go under this first little fold here, and that comes out the top. I'm going to go over this one under the blue, so I'm always going to be going under the blue on this one. Come on. Sometimes I have to wet my finger to get it to push it through. Okay, over the text, under the blue, over the text, under the blue and over the text. Yeah, isn't it? I think, Cheryl and April, aren't these just darling? And they're so easy. They look complicated, but look at that. Isn't that pretty with that ribbon? You could do it on the other side. You could come in here and put a little flower on there. Buttons. You could put buttons on there. Could put lace on there. I didn't bring any lace. Imagine that with all the lace stuff I do, and I didn't bring any. Oh, here's some. You could put lace on there. That kind of covers it up. I probably wouldn't use anything that heavy, but you could, do lace on one side, ribbon on the other, a thin little lace down the middle. I have a fabric ruffle here that you could, do that and put maybe a button up here or a bulb pin with something dangling. And that's the other thing I was thinking you could do with these pieces. If you cut them off, you could punch a hole in here, put a grommet in, and you could make that into a dangle, and let it dangle from a book page or the spine or, a pocket, anything. So you can make these into little dangles too. So unlimited possibilities. I did some more stamping on fabric. I don't know if you guys saw that video, but you could take a piece of fabric. I would probably cut this one down a little bit more, but you could take a piece of fabric and put across that and make it a pocket. So all sorts of different options. And they really are easy, April. The hardest part is getting the strips glued the right way. I always put two of the same next to each other and they need to alternate. So as long as you get that, folding it is easy. So that's it. That is braided paper. I'm glad I came live and did this, and I'll save it so it'll be up. Hey Judy, we're just about finishing up, so you'll have to go back and watch, but it's not a long one. I don't even see how long. We're almost an hour. We're 50 minutes, but if you watch just the first part, you'll get the technique. I just did it a few times and showed some ways to decorate them, but they're really, really cute, and have fun with them. Share some pictures of what you do. I would love to see. Send me some ideas. So listen, you all, have a great, great, great. Oh, hey, Christine. You did get here a little bit late, but that's okay. You can go back and watch it. I am going to be having my next sale on Tuesday evening from 4 to 9. And I have got some amazing things. I have been out shopping again. I'll show you one of the things that I got. And I have another one that'll be here today. I think it's red. Look at that toile. Toile, y'all. Look at that. So that's one thing that I'll have ready for my sale on Tuesday. So sneak preview. I hope to see you all Tuesday at 4 o'clock from 4 to 9. And Shauna will be modding for me, the wonderful Shauna. And we'll have a lot of fun. All right, y'all. Have a great day. We'll watch the video later. Good. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. And I will see you all next month. Or next month. I'll see you next month too, but I'll see you next week. So until then, ta-ta.